In the most recent video that I uploaded to the channel, I was making a lot of different things for my Mother's Day menu, and one of the things that I was making was this beautiful cake. I promised you guys that I was going to show you how to make this cake in a separate video. You're watching The Bare Pantry Show. Welcome to The Bare Pantry Show. If you want to learn how to cook in simple steps and have your dishes come out great the first time, then you're in the right place. Learn to make restaurant-style meals, comfort foods, and authentic Belizean dishes from basic ingredients. Barbara here from barepantryshow.com. So let's get right into it, guys. This cake uses butter and shortening. So I'm gonna put the two fats in my big bowl and then cream it just for 30-40 seconds. And then I'm gonna add the sugar and then make sure that I scrape down the bowl as I'm creaming. Next, I'm gonna add the eggs, and it's 2 whole eggs plus 1 egg yolk because I'm halving a full recipe. And if this comes out great, this cake is gonna go in my small batch book, okay? So that's 1 egg. Make sure it's well incorporated before I add the other one. Mix it up well. And then now I'm adding the yolk, and it bursted on me, so I'm just gonna go ahead and stop so I can get my spatula and scrape it all out because I need all of this yolk. Okay. See the white right here? I'm gonna set that aside so Jory can make one of his healthy omelets. Now, always remember to scrape down the bowl and also scrape off your spatula along the way, okay? This is a lemon extract, and it's quite a bit because it's lemon cake. Normally this cake would have some salt, but I'm not putting any because my butter is salted, alright? I'm just showing you that I measured it out but decided not to put it in. So now we're going to use milk, and it calls for whole milk, but I'm going to use this 2% lactose-free milk because I want to eat some of the cake today. So this is all-purpose flour. It's not sifted. Baking powder. This is where you would add the salt if you're not using a salted butter, okay? And now I'm going to add it to my batter in thirds. So it's a little bit of flour that I could probably do it in halves, but I like to do cakes in thirds. Mix it in well with the spatula first. I learned this from a subscriber years ago. You do that so that you don't have a plume of smoke or flour when you turn on the hand mixer. So add a little bit of the wet. And we're going to add the dry and wet alternately until it's all used up, okay? Mixing the dry first with a spatula every time you add some in. Mix it with the hand mixer. Now I'm going to get rid of this. And this cake is called California Pound Cake, but there's nothing from California in it so far, so I'm just going to put some lemon, picked in California. I'm going to put some zest. Because what's from California, right? The extract's not from here. So I'd say about a half a teaspoon of the zest. You could put more. I just don't like too much zest in my stuff. And then I have this new cake pan from Jada. It is 7 by 3, okay? It's kind of deep. I happen to have a smaller one that's 6 by 2, but I don't think this batter would fit it. So you see how thick the batter is? Just gonna level it off. I don't want to knock this down too much too. Knock off some of the air that's in there. So the oven is up to 350, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in and set the timer for 45 minutes because the full recipe calls for 1 hour and 10 minutes, and that's in an Angel food pan. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and take care of the frosting. Just a little bit of butter. The butter is salted again, and then powdered sugar. Check below for all the ingredients, okay? And I'm going to need the juice from the lemon, but Joe already has some lemon juice, so I'm just going to get it from here. So just 3 items for the frosting. I like frostings like this. I'm going to cream the butter first. It's such a little bit that it's not doing well in this big bowl, so let me go ahead and stop and add the powdered sugar. Again, I don't want a plume of smoke or powdered sugar in here, so I'm going to mix it in with my spatula. And then start mixing, and I'm going to add the lemon juice now to give it some moisture. Okay, scrape down the bowl, add the rest of the confectioner sugar. You guys know that confectioner sugar and powdered sugar is the same thing, right? And it's also the same as icing sugar. I don't know why the sugar has so many names. More of the lemon. And I don't know if this is going to work, but on this video is going to be the first time I'm going to try to do closed captioning, okay? For the hard of hearing or hearing impaired. I hope it works. So this is ready. Look how thick it is. It's supposed to be thick. So this is 45 minutes later, and we were still cooking other foods, and I checked on this, and I was afraid to poke a skewer in here because it still looked kind of, you know, wet in the middle. So we decided against testing it and just putting it back in and giving it another 15 minutes. 15 minutes later, Joe came and removed it for me while I was doing the other stuff for Mother's Day. And I let it cool in the tin for, I'd say 5-10 minutes. Then I dumped it out. Now I'm leveling off the top. I always put the cakes face down with the pretty side down, because then when you cut the cake, the frosting is covering up the bad side or the bottom, and then the pretty sides on the bottom part of the cake, right? So I cut it in 2 because the cake was so thick, but I could have really cut it in 3 layers. Look at it though, guys. Isn't it gorgeous? Now I made some lemon curd using some sweetened condensed milk, about a couple ounces, and at first I started with half a tablespoon of the lemon, but I decided to put more, so I ended up putting 2 whole tablespoons to make this little bit of curd. And then I'm going to dump it up here. I'm going to separate the cake first. Well, let me put some frosting down on the plate, then put this piece, and then the lemon curd. I think I'm going to call this cake lemony cake, not just lemon. Spread out the curd, and then I'm going to set this piece on top. If I were going to do 3 layers, I would have had to make more lemon curd though, okay? Pour the frosting onto it and just allow the frosting to just go ahead and drain. I'm trying to push it along, guys, but we should just leave it alone to just let it drain on its own. Look how gorgeous this is. So let's cut into it. I didn't show this in the last video. I had to leave something, you know, for you guys to come back and watch this one. The knife is going into it so smoothly. Let me grab my spatula and get this piece out of here. Look. Yes. What a gorgeous cake. I hope it tastes as good as it looks, guys. And put this here. Let me take it off of this plate. Joshua wanted me to put it on that plate with the red trim, but I really like this plate with the blue trim. So I'm going to go outside. Let me show you again first before we go outside. I have to hurry up and fight because there's flies over here in this bush, and I don't want any of them landing on my cake. I feel like we could have even cut a 3rd layer, but the 2nd layer was awesome. So let me take a little taste. I want the frosting and the curd in the middle. Gorgeous, guys. Remember, guys, we are not buying this book. Because if you do, the only people that are making money from that book are my ex-distributor and Amazon. Pick up this book instead. This is my Belizean cookbook. It has 120 authentic Belizean dishes that I've done on the show already, but now you can have it in print so you can follow along and your dishes will come out perfect each time. Hot off the presses, this is my 2nd cookbook, guys. It's called the Pantry Laid Bare, and I named it that because I laid everything on the line when I picked the recipes for this book, alright? 111 delicious dishes from basic ingredients. To purchase, just check below on any of my videos and you'll see the different methods of payment and also the shipping. Thanks, guys. Okay, guys, this is who I came to see. Say hi to Blue.
Hi. Down at the Pantry Show. is the Bare Pantry Show.